I see you. Guys, I just got home from school and I see this like hole in my wall, and like next door I have a really creepy neighbor. Like, let's take a look. What the fuck? Oh my god, oh my.
Sierra's on a bed of nails. They're ugly nails. Alright, and I can push the button. Oh no! Ready? And 3, 2, 1.
I'm never coming down, are I?
Look at that ride.
Kill myself.
But, okay, now what is this truck seriously doing? What does he want? I don't understand. No. He's trying to wave me on. Go.
Plastic surgeries that went wrong, part 1. Sahar Taber was a beautiful girl. I mean, very beautiful. And she got famous in 2017 because she was kind of starting to change her looks crazy. Little by little. Some people were even calling her the ugly version of Angelina Jolie. Turns out that she wasn't even trying to look like Angelina Jolie. She was actually inspired by Emily from Corpse Bride. Do you like the before or after? And like this video if I should do a part 2.
This is why you should always lock your doors. A junior in high school was home alone working on a paper while his parents were out to dinner. All night he sits with his back to his door, sitting at his desk with his noise-canceling headphones on. Around 11 o'clock he takes his headphones off at the same time his parents are returning to the house, and he hears his mom from downstairs yell, "Hey Adrian, what happened?" Confused, he runs downstairs and sees right away what she's looking at. Muddy footprints all over the rug. He tells her, "I didn't leave my desk." And then they realize someone must have broken in. They look at the footprints and there's none leaving the house. They're worried someone's still in the house, so they run into the garage, terrified, call the police. Police arrive and they don't find anyone in the house, but they do make a chilling discovery upstairs. The police bring them to the kid's bedroom door, which had been left open all night, and they point to the message written on it in Sharpie. This is the actual transcript of what was written on his door, which means for nearly 2 hours,
I hear you. I'm coming. I'm coming.
I see you.
If you scare easily, I wouldn't watch this video. In 2013, a mine explorer found this entrance to an abandoned mine and decided to go have a look around. He decides to film his experience and upload it to his YouTube channel, where he had uploaded hundreds of other videos of him exploring mines, but he never once references the paranormal or ghosts or anything like that until this video. As soon as he steps foot inside, he tells the camera that he has a really uneasy feeling about being there and wonders if he should even keep going, but he does. Everything seems pretty normal until he gets to a section in the mine where there's a bunch of chains hanging down from the ceiling. He hears something in the back of the tunnel, so he pulls his flashlight out and he shines it towards the back, and he sees a chain swinging, and it shouldn't be, because there's no draft and he's all alone, and you can tell he's scared by the way he starts talking. Although he's totally freaked out, he wants to know what's causing the chain to swing, so he goes farther and farther into the mine until he hears something. People whispering in every direction. He gets totally spooked and runs out. If you don't want to sleep tonight, watch the whole video. This is why you should always take your lockdown drills seriously. In 2017, two 16-year-olds were in their school bathroom when the lights suddenly went out and their school went into lockdown. Feeling rebellious, they decide, you know what, let's go explore the school a little bit first, and then we'll go follow procedure. They step out of the bathroom and look down the hall towards their classroom, and they see this large figure standing in front of their classrooms. It's definitely not a student, it's not a teacher. He's got ragged clothes on, and he starts walking towards them. They dart right back into the bathroom to the corner stall where they hide, praying that that man didn't see them. The man bursts in and starts yanking open all the stalls. Not wanting to see what happens when he gets to their stall, they get on the ground and start crawling to the side of the room where they finally get up and make a run for the door. They look back and he's holding a gun. The boys manage to get away safely and no one's hurt, but the police never capture the ragged man.
Hey, something traumatic happened that changed my life, check.
You need to look at this video. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to send the original and then I'm going to slow it down in Snapchat and send it. And then circle what the fuck was behind me while practicing my TikTok transitions. It's like a fucking person walking by really fucking fast.
Sexy, nasty bitch. I am that bitch. I am.
My apartment's getting darker. I need to turn on all the lights. Like I'm scared. I'm not this skilled to just put a random looking being really fast behind me. There's nobody here. And I have guns, so if you're in here, I have guns and a lot of ammo. It's a cattail.
Let this be a reminder that there really are monsters out there. In 2007, a woman living right near a prison in California got home late one night and went right to bed. Around midnight, she woke up to footsteps on her first floor, assumed it was her roommate, so she goes downstairs to say hi. She yells out to her roommate, who doesn't say anything, and then in walks this giant man who she doesn't recognize. She runs upstairs, jumps in her closet into the crawl space and hides. As she's helplessly tucked away in this little crawl space, trying not to make any sound, all she hears is this giant man sprinting around her house, running into walls, flipping furniture and screaming in frustration because he can't find her. Finally, after several hours, she slowly opens the crawl space back up, crawls out and gets her phone off the nightstand and calls police. As she's telling the police her story, she describes the person who had broken in and they stop her and say, "Ma'am, go back in the crawl space and stay there. We'll be there as soon as we can." It turned out a 6'11" convicted murderer had escaped the prison and was still on the loose. This is why you should always trust your gut. In the 1970s, a young couple decided to go for a late night hike in the woods. A couple minutes into their walk, and the man remembers thinking something's not right. He tells his girlfriend, but they just decide to ignore it and keep going, until he steps on something that felt really soft, like it was alive. Before he has a chance to see what he stepped on, they hear all this rustling in the bushes next to them and they bolt. Years later, that couple turns on the TV and a death row inmate who's about to be executed is being interviewed. And they ask him, "Was there ever a time that you were almost caught red-handed?" He responded, "Yes, one time. I was in the woods and a couple walked through and the man actually stepped on the body of a girl I had just killed. I was hiding in the bushes just a few feet away. They didn't see me." That couple had run into one of the worst serial killers of all time, Ted Bundy.
That's the ones from the movies. Yeah? Hell no. What do I do? Put bleach on it. Bleach, bleach, bleach.
This is why you should always trust your gut. In the early 1970s, a college student decided to hitchhike his way home after class. A car pulls up, a man offers him a ride, and he climbs in. As soon as the car started moving, the student felt totally uneasy, like something was wrong but he couldn't quite place it. Without saying anything, he waited till the next time they slowed down and he flung the door open and ran away. 2 years later, he's flicking through TV channels when he comes across this special interview with a death row inmate. And it's just the audio recording, so he hears the interviewer ask the inmate, "Why did you remove all the door handles inside of your car?" The man just goes, well, the first time I tried to kill someone, I picked up a college hitchhiker who got smart at some point and jumped out of my car. So, lesson learned, remove all the door handles. When they showed his picture, the student knew immediately that he was supposed to be the first victim of John Wayne Gacy, aka the killer clown, who had killed over 30 men and boys in his clown room and stuffed them into his basement. Yes, this really did happen. In 2015, a man woke up to a strange post-it note sitting on his desk. On it was a to-do list that he didn't recognize in handwriting that didn't look like his. Since he was up late the night before doing some work, he assumed he must have written out the list when he was half asleep and kind of forgot about it, so he just crumples it up and throws it away. 2 weeks later, he wakes up to dozens of these post-it notes all over his wall, and they're all blank except for one that in the same weird handwriting says, "Our landlord isn't letting me talk to you." Now feeling totally freaked out that some crazy person is crawling around his apartment at night, he starts looking for signs of a break-in, but there aren't any. Instead of calling the police, he shares his experience on Reddit asking for help, and one user's comment literally saves his life. Turns out the man was writing the notes to himself and then forgetting, because his brain was slowly dying due to a carbon monoxide leak that was only discovered because a user suggested he install a detector. This is why you always say yes to tandoori chicken. In 2012, a high school tutor and her student stayed up so late one night studying that by the time they were done, the buses had stopped running. Without another way home, the student asked if he could stay the night at her place. Reluctantly, she agreed. When they got back to the apartment, she fell asleep on her bed and he fell asleep on a blanket next to her bed on the ground. A few hours later, she wakes up to the boy standing awkwardly in the middle of the room with a very strange look on his face. She asks him, "What's wrong?" He looks at her and says, "I'm really hungry. Let's go get some tandoori chicken." Confused, she says, "It's 2 a.m. Just get a snack in the cupboard." And he grabs her by the arm and he says, "No, we are getting tandoori chicken right now." And he yanks her from the bed. Feeling totally caught off guard by this whole situation, she goes into the hall with the boy, and as soon as the door shuts behind them, she can tell that he is terrified. He looks at her and just says, "I'm not actually hungry. When I woke up, there was someone under your bed."
What? You okay, buddy?
Dude, what was that?
No way.
There's something terrifying going on at Chuck E. Cheese right now, and I'm gonna explain it to you. So we all know about the game Five Nights at Freddy's, right? It's a game based around a restaurant that's pretty much like a Chuck E. Cheese where the animatronics come to life and wreak havoc on all the guests there. But what if I told you this was possibly happening in real life right now? Just 2 days ago, 5 children have gone missing inside of a Chuck E. Cheese, and the parents reported a weird smell from the inside of the building. And then just like Five Nights at Freddy's, someone that worked the late night shift actually got killed after hours. Now these are all pretty weird, but here's the kicker right here. Check out this headline. Night shift workers from Chuck E. Cheese claim strange movement from animatronics post hours. So I don't know, what do you think about this? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? And I mean with 2020 and everything going on, like I wouldn't be shocked if it was real.
Here baby, try this candy.
Alright, let me see.
Here, okay? Have some. It's really good.
God dang! What's so spicy? You guys, I think that Howie Mandel is being held captive. This might sound crazy, but in a recent TikTok video, Howie Mandel took out a random paper bag and labeled it shoe stuff, essentially making a DIY project. But this video is full of secret messages. Just in case he is actually being held captive, please signal boost this video, comment, follow, do whatever you can. You can see in this video that he's wearing a lifeguard hoodie, and on that hoodie, it gives away where he lives, Santa Monica. But also in this video, he points to the letters SOS in a triangle. Just look at this clip.
And can you see it? It says shoe stuff, shoe stuff.
If you didn't know, the letters SOS is to signal that you are in extreme danger. Just in case you missed it, let me replay it for you.
And can you see it? It says shoe stuff.
If you really took a closer look at this video, you can also notice that the S's look like 5s. Look, 2 5s. And 2 5s make 55. And if you dial the number 55, it takes you directly to the police. It shows that you're being held captive or that there's an intruder in your house, and that you cannot talk. In part 2, he spells out the letter HELP.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew, Part 1. When creating the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, they couldn't create skeletons that looked realistic enough, so they used real human skeletons. Since then, they've removed all but one. Ducks sometimes become cannibals due to boredom, meaning they kill and eat each other. This behavior begins as early as 4 weeks old. Crocodiles are capable of galloping, similar to a horse. Luckily, alligators cannot. And while we're at it, tarantulas can swim. It's extremely common after you die that there will be extreme gas buildup and you will burp after death. And sometimes dead bodies can even sit up on their own. Also, if a pregnant woman dies, the gas buildup in her body can actually forcefully push a baby out. In other words, a post-mortem baby bazooka. Hearing is the last bodily function to go after one dies. So it's very possible that the last thing you ever hear is the paramedic calling off your CPR.
Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check.
So I found this little basement. It's freaking weird. Oh my god!
Videos that seem innocent but have a terrifying backstory, Part 2. This video shows a man playing Dance Dance Revolution being unknowingly recorded by some people who are making fun of him. The man, Adam Lanza, 6 months later would shoot his mother in the head 4 times while she was asleep and then drive to Sandy Hook Elementary School, where he would murder 6 adults and 20 children between the ages of 6 and 7. A popular 18-year-old CSGO YouTuber uploaded a reveal of the supercar he had just bought. He had a stream account containing around $100,000 of in-game items, which was banned 6 months later, causing him to have a mental breakdown and commit suicide. He intentionally drove the vehicle into a van, killing him, a mother, and her 12-year-old daughter. This video shows Chris Watts pleading for the return of his pregnant wife and 2 daughters.
If somebody has her and they're not safe, like, I want them back now.
He later confessed to strangling his daughters, hiding them in an oil tank, and burying his wife. This video shows comic magician Tommy Cooper having a heart attack on live TV. His audience, along with the assistant, thought it was all part of the show, so they laughed along while he died on stage. This video shows a Russian influencer's birthday party where she decided to throw dry ice into her swimming pool for the visual effect. Sadly, 3 people died due to carbon dioxide poisoning. The following video is what happens when you take 2 AI cleverbots and hook them up to one another to have a conversation. It's funny at first, but it soon becomes quite disturbing.
Hiya. How are you? Great. You? I'm okay. That's good. Are you good? Do you believe in God? Yes, I do. So you're Christian? No, I am not. But you say you are not helpful, therefore you're a meanie. How you say it, Oti? That does not make sense. Don't you want to have a body?
Yeah! Get the fuck out!
You're fucking stupid ass.
Get out!
No!
Go ahead, I'm calling the cops on you, bro.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Hey, Beck? You in there?
Yeah, I'm just, not feeling so great all of a sudden.
Oh, so you think it's something you ate?
I don't know. Good question. Ah, shit.
This is the story of how two kids witnessed a potential murder on Omegle. A 14-year-old kid and his friend Anthony were having a sleepover one night. When Anthony arrived at his friend's house, they both went upstairs onto the computer and onto Omegle. The boys matched up with a girl who seemed to be around the age of 18. The girl was sitting in a dark room with a blue light shining on her face. The boys were planning on being really mean and annoying. But then Anthony then said, "Who is that behind you?" Anthony's friend then looked behind the girl but saw nothing, so he thought Anthony was joking. The girl knew right away that Anthony was just messing with her. Anthony then insisted to the girl that there was someone behind her, so his friend played along with it. The girl turned around and saw nothing. Anthony's friend also saw nothing behind the girl. Anthony then said that there was someone hiding behind her bed. Anthony's friend then looked at Anthony as if he was joking, but Anthony was being 100% serious. All of a sudden, Anthony's friend then saw the same man that Anthony was seeing behind her bed. Part 2 will be out in a moment.
Oh my gosh. Go, go, go.
If you're a girl, stop what you're doing right now and watch this video. The second you get into your car, lock that shit, because they literally just tried to get into her car. Kudos to her for driving away, because I literally would have backed up and ran them over. These men are creepy out here. Stay safe.
Oh no.
More about the costume. Here's all the parts. Front legs are made from crutches. Rear legs are 2x4s with snow boots to hold my feet in and some PVC to hold my leg. The backpack is the shell. I have to wear tights, otherwise it's impossible to do this. One leg, then the next. Strap them in real tight. Put on the backpack, and then I put on the head, and it's actually on the top of my head. That's how you see the strange movements. One arm in. I even have Bluetooth speakers. Here it is, getting into it. And I can stand up. It's about 9 feet tall.